Yo, what up, y'all? I'm back with another video. And do you wonder why there is a lack of community nowadays? You probably do, right? Because if you think about it, years ago, and I'm talking about many, many years ago, when we actually had communities within the communities, people were held to a higher standard. That is the reason why everything seems to be failing nowadays. Why do you think things seem to be going left when it comes to marriage, when it comes to the birth rate, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dating? Everything seems to be going left. Everything seems to be going wrong. And that is because there is a lack of community, a lack of community. No one seems to care about each other anymore. I just saw a video today where this young man stepped in and he jumped in the way of another man who was assaulting a young lady because he said that she had his cell phone, when in actuality she didn't. He just wanted to assault her. So he started chasing her across the street. Now this young man intervened and he hopped in the way and he was ready to fight this man, even though he could have got hurt or even worse, deleted. He didn't know if that guy had a knife or if he had a gun or not. He could have been seriously hurt, but he did not care because he stepped in as a man should, even though you are stepping in for a stranger, someone that you don't even know. That is what a part of being a part of a community does. People step in when it's time to step in. A group of people will step in to help another person. But nowadays, you know what people do? They start recording. Yeah, whenever there's a tragedy, whenever someone is being accosted, whenever someone is being hurt, assaulted, you know what people do? Yes, you do know, because you're probably one of the ones who will pull out your phone and start recording because you do not care. We have a lack of community nowadays. This is the reason why women will go on social media and post provocative pictures, because no one is shaming them anymore. They don't have a community of women who will shame them, who will call them out for doing that. They don't. They have their friends telling them, you go, girl. Yeah, post that provocative pic. Post your ass on social media. That's what the guys want to see. You'll be able to land you a husband later on. You have men who are lazy, who don't want to do anything, who don't want to be leaders. And you know what? You don't have a community of men that's pushing them and telling them, yo, get up off your ass, get out there and get it. I don't care how hard it is. Remember, I don't care about how hard you have it. I want to hear about how hard you're going to work to have it. Yeah, you don't have men telling these boys that. And that's exactly what these grown-ass boys are. They are boys. They're not men because they don't want nothing out of life, but they do not have a community of other men pushing them. So how do we fix this? We need to start building communities again. We need to start joining communities. See, you might not even know who your neighbor is. I guarantee you. Most of the time, you pass them on the highway, you pass them on the road, you don't even wave. Your neighbor, the person who lives next door to you, you probably don't even know their name. You know what I'm going to do? Right now, as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to go next door and introduce myself to my neighbors. No, but I've already done that. See, people talk about the black community. There is none. What do you mean, the black community? There is no such thing as the black community because nobody seems to be looking out for each other anymore. This is the reason why you will have a young mother who does not have any child care for their child, but they need to go to work. And what do? They either have to call out or they have to pay the high-ass child care every month to have someone, a stranger, raise their kid and watch their kid for them, instead of having the community of people, women or men, who will watch that child for them, who will teach that child. You could be getting hurt right now. Run to someone's door, knock on their door, and guess what? 8 out of 10 times, they won't even answer the door, and they know that you are in trouble. They know that you're in distress, but they will not come to the door because there is a lack of community. There is no community. So when you say the black community, we are generalizing. We're not talking about an actual community. We're just saying it because there is no black community. Why do you think there's a separation of niggas? Yeah, black people who act like Negroes and black people. I've always said this in my other videos. There's two types of people. There's two types of black people. There's the niggas the ones who act ignorant, and then there are black people, the ones who act like they have some sense. And it's the same thing for any other race and any other culture. There's two sets of people in every race and every culture. So now, how do we stop this from happening? How do we stop this separation? We need to go back to building communities. We need to go back to joining as one community. The people who are degenerates, the people who are menace to society, we need to pull them back. We need to shame them. We need to let them know that we are not going to have this kind of buffoonery. You are either part of the community or you're not. We need to start banding together and helping one another. I know it's easier said than done because, let's be real, it's probably not going to happen, at least not in my lifetime, because everyone is out for themselves and everybody wants to see themselves win, and they do not want to help anybody else. No, they don't want to help anybody else. But when we form communities, if you are hurt, if you are down, if you are struggling, if you need some kind of finances, guess what? That community is supposed to help you out. I know a lot of people say that, the church will do that. Well, how many people actually go to church and how many people actually get help from the church? Because let's be real, most of the time your pride is going to get in the way and you are not going to ask somebody for help. So if we had communities where we knew that we had each other's backs, then if you were down and out and you needed some money, you needed some finances, you needed to pay a bill, your rent was due, guess what? I would loan it to you with no hesitation because we are part of the same community. And I know that if I needed it, you would do the very same thing. And not to mention, you are going to pay me back when you say you're going to pay me back because you are a person of your word and I am a person of my word. So if I was down and out and you lent me some money, I would do the very same thing. On the day that I told you I was going to pay you back, I would pay you back because I'm a man of my word and we are all part of one big community. And we want to see that community thrive. Yes, we want to strive for the best community possible. We want to look out for each other. So if you go back years ago, when you go back to when we actually had communities, you will see that black people were thriving, white people were thriving, Latino, Hispanic people were thriving. Everyone was thriving. Asian people were thriving. And I'm talking about in this country. But nowadays, everyone is struggling. Well, most people are struggling, not everyone, because some of us actually still bust our ass and work hard. And those of you who don't, you need to be a part of a community. So don't look at me in that way and say, oh, what is he talking about? Well, I don't need to be a part of no community. I'm all for myself. I've been doing this by myself. Yeah, exactly. That's what part of the problem is. You've been trying to do this by yourself and you are for yourself. And then you wonder why you struggle so much. And you wonder why when you ask someone for help, nobody wants to help you. Because you're not part of a community. Let's start building communities. Let's start banding together and helping one another. If we do not do this, guess what? The future is going to diminish for a lot of people. And a lot of people are going to continue struggling until they can't no more. That is the reason why the deletion rate is so high. There are no communities. You have no one to talk to when you are in trouble. You have no one to call. You have no one to give you advice. And you want to know something crazy? We all need a little bit of help. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.